Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 22. Double deuces. A pair of twos in poker. It's not that great, let's be honest. Can't fold your hand right at the beginning. Wow, I'm talking bullshit again. Anyways,
My favorite number, though.
yes, is number 2 your favorite number?
Yeah.
Okay, then pray that you don't die. Otherwise, it will probably change that. Yes, but as you acute viewers can see, one of our players is missing. She wasn't feeling all that great, so we are giving her a break. Yes, we are letting her rest for a bit. But nonetheless, we keep trooping on forward, and we will see what that means inside of the actual session. And I don't think I have anything further to say, because I got all my small talk out before the session started. So let's just jump right into our character introductions as usual, starting with...
That would be me. I'm Greg, and I'm playing Eirik Spanner, your friendly neighborhood human artificer, who just going through a big personality crisis and pretty terrified about his life, basically.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Dr. Fiera. Not much more to say. She is ready to do her thing in a whole new city, meet some people, make some connections, get some resources, and get back to work.
Oh wait, I'm next. I'm Felicia. I'm playing Arya, who's still kind of struggling. She's relied on her psionic abilities so much in her life, and she's struggling to tap into that side of her, so she's a little frustrated.
Yes, that does happen if one part of you gets lost. Or maybe it's for the better. Okay, and similar to last session, I will want one of you to roll me a D100. No D20 this time, only a D100.
Who's pulling the trigger this time?
I mean, it has to be. It has to be Greg. It's 22. It's like his lucky number session. So now he has to prove it. Now it's a 1.
Oh, don't say that. Like 99 other chances to get anything but a 1.
Okay, it's a very proud 34.
What did we get last time?
That is a...
God, we did a lot of rolls last time.
Yeah, we did.
Are you scoring up again?
I'm trying. I don't remember what we rolled.
These boys are keeping track. I mean, you just can rewatch the beginning of last episode. It literally happens in like the first minute. That's probably faster.
Was it Eirik that rolled a 19?
43. There we go.
Oh, it's reversed now. God dang. It's 34 and last time was 43. Okay. Yes, what does that mean? Nobody knows. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the intro. Because I will not further elaborate. That would be too easy. It's always sad to see people die. It really is. Rotten corpses infested with blight. The smell of burning flesh in the air. And the sight of your fellow friends heaped up in a pile. Burning away slowly and turning to ash. Really makes you start to think after a while Why the hell we even do this? It's not like we're getting anything from it anyways. No. In fact, all we get is seeing our comrades die, day after day. To protect the people is what some of us tell ourselves. But I've learned that any excuse to convince oneself will eventually wear itself thin, and you'll have to desperately find a different lie to convince yourself of continuing on. So you can truly believe me when I say, this is nothing personal. My life just wasn't that great. And now I ended up here with you. But don't worry, it'll all be over for you shortly, and in a twisted way. I kind of envy you for that. I'm too scared to die. But someday I will. And I'll be happy when that day comes. Yes. Then let's start us off with a quick recap as usual. You guys, after having been seemingly cursed by an individual who is referred to as Calyx, the Ever-Damned, the Death-Touch Pagan, you have kind of shifted goals a bit, seeing that following the trails of the Earth Chrysalis hasn't brought you any further success, and this has proven to be a bit more of an immediate danger to your own safety after having witnessed some of the potential effects on those who have been submitted to this, presumably curse. You were trying to find out a way to get rid of it after trying a dispel magic on it. Seemingly worked at the beginning, but then having interacted with Calyx himself again, it seemed to have returned and you were back to square one. And also having a conversation with a Inquisition member, or former Inquisition member from Tellus, you learned that a lot of shit is going down. And a lot of shit is going to down pretty soon, after also having questioned fate itself in a degree with Dr. Fiera's spells that she has procured, her own transcribed Dr. Fiera's Future's Foresight, and asked a question which Telding, one of the local professors inside of Zunanir, was also curious to know whether or not a war would happen in the next 10 days, aka a VOS. And the answer was met with a vision of a familiar landscape, smoke in the distance, and something marching towards it. And with that vision, you decided that it'd be in your best interest, not only for survival but also for research, to change locations and try and go to the Zephyrus archives, which has been mentioned a couple of times here and there, but obviously is famous for being the biggest archive on the entire continent, housing a luxurious amount of books. And since you are dealing with something that is widely unknown. If there was a place to find anything about it, it most likely would be the Zephyrus archives. But you were faced with a problem, and that is that it was 16 days away by foot or cart. And since the teleportation towers were out of commission, you had no formal way of going there. However, Mrs. Fiera, always prepared with the connections and contacts she has made with a former mage friend from the arena who was also in the Sky Lounge, and you asked them if they could maybe help you go there, and you found out they were going there anyways and could also bring you with them. And so, having convinced them that you are going there out of similar interest, and taking Tila and Endel with you, of course, to also bring them to safety, you disappeared from Zulanir and appeared inside of the city walls of Delos Solus, the outer city perimeters and the cityscape that surround the actual Zephyrus archive itself, and are now inside of new territory for the first time in quite a few days. Probably like a Voss since you last went outside of the city. Well, Eirik has probably been inside of the city for a long time, but out of comfort space, let's put it that way. You kind of just went around, did a little bit of sightseeing, but you all took a rest since you were somewhat exhausted from the traveling beforehand, and settled in inside of a high quality inn called the Sunset, which Iserel brought you to, and you would have also found out that Iserel studied here long before, when she was still younger, and which is why she kind of knew her way around and brought you to this inn. However, you took a night's rest, you slept, and you reawaken. Everything's fine. You did not get ambushed, assassinated while you were sleeping. The doors are locked. And you wake up. The first thing that will happen is the door on your room area will knock.
I'll go open it.
You can see a well-dressed boy there. He has like a uniform, kind of a black suit-esque vest with white puffy sleeves on it, and he's holding a letter and says, sorry to disturb you, but this is a letter for a Miss Liafina. I was told you were staying inside of this room.
Is she in the room?
Yes, she's in the room. She's probably currently prepping herself.
Yeah, I can take that and I'll give it to her. She's just right over there getting ready.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Then I'll kind of like bow.
Yeah, he stands there for a few moments.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
It's just usually I never mind, and then he just kind of bows and then he runs away.
I just kind of shake my head and go, Azrael, this was delivered for you.
She will kind of walk over to it, take it, open it, and then she will basically convey that it's a letter from a professor that she had contacted last time with a bird. Obviously, he couldn't contact her back because he doesn't have a bird, and they just wish to have a conversation with her. It seems like a private one. Which she will attend to.
Go on ahead. I'll, inform the others.
She kind of says, she kind of gives you like tells you where in proximity she's going to be. Obviously, she would tell you that. I am hesitant to voice a different PC, which is why I'm talking in like third person. Yeah, basically, she will inform you that it's Tarendel is the name of the professor, and he's a professor of politics and social engagement inside of the inner Kreis, so the inner circle of the city. Just so if you wanted to contact her, it's probably easy if you contact him, since she will be with him. And then, yeah, that's basically what she tells you. And then, she prepares herself and then leaves.
Have fun.
Okay. That's only what I'm gonna say. And meanwhile, oh yeah, Eirik, you're also in their room. I just realized.
Oh yeah. Oh right.
Out your sharing our room.
Because Fiera's with Tila and Nendel, right?
I got the NPCs.
So anything you do, Eirik, as this is happening?
Not specifically, no. Just I'm kind of in my own place.
Yeah. I guess one thing that Isra would say, since she's kind of leaving in a hurry, is, just give you a brief overview of, like, since she is the only one who knows a bit about the city, she will say, in the Außenkreis you will find stores and stuff. If you want to buy something, you can find it there. They have a general store as usual. They have a clothing shop if you want new fancy clothing. They also have a armory and like just stores that still sell random stuff, and obviously a lot of scribe material, so parchment, ink, and stuff like that. They also sell here in large amounts. Yes, and then
Something simple I would ask Izrael would just be, are there any special like greetings or customs that we have to use to introduce ourselves to people here,
or no, this is unless you're talking with like a professor, you should just be formal and respectful. Rather than that, most people here are students. It'd be extremely awkward if you addressed a student formally, is what she will tell you. Yeah. And then she will leave.
Yeah.
Goes away.
What now? Do we want to explore? Do we want to go let Fiera know that Ezra left?
Oh, I mean, are we going to explore without Fiera? We're going to tell her anyway, so might as well go see if at least if Endel and Tila are comfortable.
All right. I'm assuming Fiera's room's like right next door, so I'll go knock, knock, knock.
Cool. Indel, can you?
Yeah. Okay. Oh. I gets out of bed. Walks there. Hello. Hope you sleep
Did we
well.
wake you?
Yeah, I mean my entire body's hurting and I'm in pain, but... anyways. Kinda just goes back. Can see Tila on one of the beds. She's still passed out from the teleportation spell. And Oak just kinda sits next to her. Just kinda feels her forehead a bit. Making sure she's okay. And then kind of just goes to the balcony and looks outside.
Oh, just the two of you? I'll look behind him.
Azrael went and her professor wanted to have a private conversation with her.
Oh, so that does work. Alright, good to know. Well, it's unfortunate, but
We were thinking about kind of exploring a little bit. I'm just kind of getting a lay of the town.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I was gonna do the same.
What are we doing about Tila?
Oh, we should be okay. Why don't you stay here for the day, Dell? We can just stop by later. Well, you have money, so you can take care of yourself if you need anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can, you know, do my finish my workout inside of here.
Oh, that's right. I need to get you reading materials. Do that while we're out.
Wait, what? Reading materials?
I have, yes. There are subjects you need to learn.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you said something else. Well, okay, yeah, reading sounds good. I like reading.
Well, settled. Which one of you has the ring? Oh,
I don't
actually,
think Azrael passed it on.
It certainly wouldn't be me.
I think it
And
was
my-
on here last.
Yeah, and with my brain, she wouldn't have handed it to me.
Right. Well, I guess you can have fun with him today.
That'll be fun, trying to have a meeting with the professor and you just have glamour in your head. I look forward to when I have him again.
Right. We do need to find a way out. I think I have a temporary idea because I do want that. Well, we might need that base eventually with what's coming. So, but we can think of that on another day. Why don't we explore?
Might as well.
I will put alacrity and mage armor on myself. I do every morning now.
Okay. I'll mark that down.
Not gonna forget.
Did we have a chance to rest before last session, or since last session?
Yeah, yeah. You just woke up. What do you think you just
Okay,
did?
I just
sleep.
want to double check because I was down hit points.
Yes.
Okay, I'm healthy again.
Okay, then. What's your plan on scouring the town? Like, is there any specifics routes you are taking? Any specific part of the city you want to go to first?
We should probably find food.
Sure.
I mean,
We're gonna have
now
to pay for it, aren't we?
You say that so like
I mean, it's not free, unfortunately.
I mean, I got really used to not paying for food,
Oh, yes. That's actually true.
even though it was for like 3 days. I got very used to just saying I would like something to eat and having it brought to me.
yes, we would have to pay for it.
I'm not from here, so whatever you two thinks looks precious.
Because I remember before we ended last, I had Izarel kind of show me around a little bit. Would she have shown me like any like good food places?
Yeah. Would have showed you kind of like the general areas where people would go to eat and stuff like that. Definitely.
Any particular spot? She said.
Yes, you would probably kind of point out probably first of all places to avoid, which is the bars that are often frequented by the students. One specifically known as the Great Fever, for some obvious reasons why it's called like that. But they are like, since she was more upper class, she used to go to a place called the Silver Tongue, and that's kind of more a somewhat high-end restaurant, or at least high-end in terms of this place. Even like the other inns and stuff like that still have extremely high quality food and stuff like that, just because most people who live here come from a wealthy background. Most people here have either parents who are extremely wealthy, or some kind of patronage that allows them to study here at the first place. If you don't have cash, then what the fuck are you doing here is basically what's up. This is a very elitist kind of area. So even the Great Fever, though it be the kind of bomber bar, is still, you know, above average than your usual tavern that you can find in any other city. But the Silver Tongue specifically is well for even the wealthy, kind of thing. So that is for people who want to, you know, dissociate from the student life and keep true to their higher standing nobility. So you can go there if you wish to.
Izrael told me about a place called the Silver Tongue. Apparently it's kind of the nicer scale, not as many students.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds
So I will-
expensive.
It might be.
If we happen to find some street food on the way, I might just do that.
Okay, Irish.
I'll still go. I'm just don't really want to be spending a whole bunch of money just on food.
Since you got so used to paying for it or not paying for it.
Well, I mean, just in general. Like, there's probably 1,000 different things I'd rather pay money for. So, you know, food is food.
So I'll kind of walk them towards where I believe Izrael showed it to me.
Okay. Trying to indulge in the comfort you have been before. And walking past the streets, I can make a perception check to see if you find any food vendors that sell food on the streets. $17. Yeah, you're walking through the streets, wide open streets. Like I said last time, it's very different and probably more comfortable than in Zunania, where you get rampled every few seconds or so. You have space, and you can see the difference between Zunania and here is, even though you have space here, people still will go out of your walkway, even though they wouldn't run into you, just because everyone is inside of their private bubble, and the people here can afford it, and they try to keep it even when they're just walking the normal streets. And you can see everyone here is still in a somewhat kind of stressed mood, and you can feel the vibe and the tension that is in the air is still not as stressed as it was in Zunania, but there's probably a lot of stuff going on in people's mind here, and you can immediately just see it. And it might be because of the coming political conflict, or maybe just these are just students who are busy studying, and maybe the next term is due, or the next assignment is due, or something like that. And you would know for students, they usually are always in stress. But you can.
It's finals week.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that. And you can feel that. But whether or not it's actually finals week or something else is kind of bringing on this stress over them is hard to see. But you can see a few vendors here and there that sell like little things, like basically like a few imbisses that you can have like a quick bite and stuff like that on the go. You can see many students who have books under one of their arms and quills and stuff like that. You can see one on the far road accidentally slips, and then some of his books and papers fly out, and it just gets scattered in the wind. Oh no! Oh Christ! Somebody please catch it! That's 3 hours of work! Oh Christ! And then starts running, trying to catch his papers. But there's a small food vendor that sells like skewed meats with a few vegetables on it, squeezed like a bun between it, very nice and juicy. You can have one of those if you wish to.
Yeah, I'll grab just like kind of maybe like a little sample from each stall that we see or something if there's a bunch of them, but
Okay, then you can attract around like 5 silver for your shopping sprees, sort of just going from one imbiss to the other, and you will have procured several sweets, maybe a small tart, and a few kind of specially procured meat dishes, which is also very rare meat. It's not so common. But finally you get to a very tall silver, more like white marbled building that seems to be 4 stories high. It is somewhat one of the tallest building, or at least in the area, and you're still in the Mittelkreis, and this is where all the inns, taverns and stuff like that are immediately built next to the student accommodations, obviously to sustain them. And you can see that on the sides of the building, sort of like wooden pillars, how most of them have, there seems to be beams of either steel, silver, or something else to give it a kind of prestige look. Very fine. It reminds you a bit of the High Plains, but definitely, like I said, with the inn, still a downgrade, a heavy downgrade from where you were before. But it is nicely built. A half-circle stairway leading up to it, 4 or 5 steps only, that leads into a silver-framed and hollowed, gold-gilded door. And the entrance just lies there open for you if you wish to enter.
it's a nice door.
Okay, you admire the door and you step inside.
Yep.
And as you do, and the door swings closed behind you, it's a swing door, so it actually just swings open and swings out, almost like Wild Western style, just that it closes completely. The sound of the town behind you kind of gets diminished a bit, and the inside is oddly similar to the Lichtkirche, and you have the kind of a deja vu Fiera as you entered the building of what's his name again? Christ, I forgot his name. Of Goldbow, yes, Timath, where everything seemed like Holy Lichnius-esque, but just because of the color scheme. It's similar here, but instead of like white and yellow, it's white and silver. But you can see that the architectural style is definitely more elven. A lot of kind of vine-esque and flowery kind of what's it called, structures that are on the edges, that are kind of finely carved and made. And you can see, like with most other things inside of here, they were handmade and not terraformed like most other buildings in Sunanir, for example. And as you could see from the outside, this is a very tall building, typical for Elven style, but not very wide. And you can see the other side of the room. There's immediately a desk. You don't see any tables here or people eating. This seems to be like a lounge, but you can see on the right side there is a stairway that leads up, which probably is the dining area, and you can immediately see a man come up to you, wears a very white shirt with a silver vest over it, has a very finely trimmed mustache that goes out into a point. Very nice silver hair comb back, almost looks to be too ostentatious, and the monochromatic theme, similar like Timas, is going way too overboard. Like something is missing to fill the void of just everything being white and silver. But he seems to be adoring everything. Even his goddamn shoes are silver. and kind of reflecting the light as he kind of steps up to you and says, "Oh, hello and welcome to the Silver Tongue. How may I serve you today on this pleasant day?"
Well, we'd love a place to, well, I guess sit, eat, and enjoy ourselves.
Ah, yes, of course. You have come to the perfect place. Well, so you would, what would you like to have served? We have a breakfast menu, or we can maybe have a early brunch if you so wish to.
Definitely brunch.
Oh, all right, and that is for all 3 members here.
No, I'm okay, thank you. I'll just join them and sit, but I'm good.
Oh, okay, understood. And you can immediately hear and see kind of a disdain in his voice as you say that. And it says, and what is then with the fine missus?
You need our names.
I beg
Well,
your pardon?
I guess I'm Fiera.
Ah, wonderful to meet you. Kind of takes your hand, gives it a small smooch. And the other?
I'm Aria.
Ah, Aria. Nice to have you here. Oh, my apologies. I was get too excited to see new customers. My name is Franz Hogelhand. I'll be your butler today. As I was asking, Sophia, a earlier buffet for you that can be done, and Aria, for you, maybe a breakfast menu course, or are you also partaking in the earlier buffet?
I'll do breakfast, please.
Ah, yes, of course. And well, including in the menu, you can either have the expanded menu where you will also be served beverages as well that accompany their dishes and the courses. Each one hand selected by our own chef, so the flavors get combined and you can have the full experience. Or you can have a separate one, the normal course, and you can handpick your own drinks and beverages as you wish, but you will have to pay them separately, of course.
I'll just take the simplified menu, please.
Ah, alright, of course. And with you, Mrs. Vieira?
You can pick.
Oh, very well. Well, the expanded menu is the whole experience, and I am confident that your mouth will enjoy the course and the mixture of the food and the drinks together. Well, let's not talk further, and let's spare your mouths with the breath so they can enjoy the food more pleasantly. Please follow me. And then he starts taking you up to the stairs, and you get led up. Once again, white stairs, white walls, and a silver handrim, and you see it kind of spirals up. The structure itself isn't big enough to have a normal space to accommodate a big staircase. Nonetheless, you kind of walk up several feet and get onto the second floor, where you can see a very nice, clean, white marbled floor, very open space. 5 chandeliers over the top in the middle of the room, kind of hanging. One central one that is larger than the rest, and you can see 2 tables set up here. 2 tables that could probably hold about 8 people comfortably, and he leads you to one of them. Both are currently unoccupied, and you seem to be the only people inside of here currently. And then he kind of just walks forward and says, well, you can take whichever one you liked. They're both literally the same. You can either take the left or the right one.
Oh, well, 2 choices. I guess I'll take the right.
Alright, the right it will be. Well, please take your seats. And he goes to you, and of course, as the former gentleman does, he kind of goes to the place you want to sit and then takes the chair out. But before doing that, he kind of just does a hand gesture to ask if you want to give him any coats or stuff you're wearing before you sit down.
It stays with me, and then I'll take a seat. Put my satchel next to the chair.
Yeah, and he kind of pushes you in, and then does the same for Aria and Eirik. Presume you all keep your stuff, unless someone wants to get rid of the cloak. And then he says,
Definitely not.
alright, well, here is the menu. And then he gives you each a menu. And this is the wine card. Puts it into the middle. And you will be served as soon as the dishes are ready. It won't take too long. We have already prepared. You are the first guest here, so you will have the best experience. Consider yourselves lucky, is what I'm saying. All right. Is there anything you need? Please just ring this little bell. And then he takes a bell out of his back pocket and just places it on the table. It's a mini bell. It's like this big. Very cute. And guess what color it is? You're right. It's silver. And then he puts it there. And then he says, all right. Well, and I should excuse myself and you can have your own privacy. Kind of takes a deep bow, stands back up, and then swings around and goes back down.
Well, he's something.
Yes, I wasn't expecting a place so grandiose.
Israel just told me it was one of her favorite places. I didn't anticipate, this.
I'm starting to get a picture of where she's coming from. Yeah, interesting.
I have a feeling, though, I'm not the only person in this city who doesn't like spending a lot of money on stuff like this. I kind of expected there to be, like, more people.
Maybe that's the appeal of it, where there's not that many people here. So more private conversations can be had.
Maybe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I actually prefer, like, the less people. And what you might have noticed is in the little time that we've been here, the sort of tension in Eirik's shoulders has kind of lessened. He's not holding himself as tight anymore. He's kind of just like, there's a little bit of ease over him compared to the last few days.
Vera, what's on your menu? Is it as extravagant as they made it sound to be?
You know, there's not a lot of words, and the words that I can actually read are actually quite simple. Mainly just like, you know, a pasta here. This one's like some sort of like, I guess seafood with some sort of sauce. I actually don't, you know, I know a lot of languages. I don't know what some of these words are.
Oh,
Well, just be careful about the seafood. We're not near the sea.
Right. Right.
I can try to translate for you if you'd like.
You know what? I will just pick randomly, and I will just get like a gold piece, flip it up in the air, and see what it lands on.
Well, you would know that you will get everything on the menu. It's just literally the courses that you will get for what you just have ordered.
Oh, perfect. Well, I guess I am getting that. Okay.
Yeah. So all 7 things listed on here you will receive.
Perfect.
I'm gonna look at my basic menu.
No, you have this exact same menu. No, you don't. You have the breakfast menu. It's the same in that sense. The only thing that's different is Fiera's is just accompanied by drinks, and you can see that on the bottom of the list it says under each dish there is a accompanied recommended beverage or wine listed there, but on the bottom you can see that it's an extra cost, or if you want to have a the expanded menu, you get all drinks immediately served, and you obviously chose a choice where you don't get them all served. Yes, so that's how it works. And
Well, guess we'll see how big my stomach is. Or actually, how
Oh.
big the plates are. I'm actually not sure.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm getting everything you are. I just get to pick my own drinks. Maybe I should have went with the expanded menu.
It's quite simple.
Most complicated food I've ever seen.
Eric, if I start to get too full, do you want to eat some of my food?
I mean, I guess I'll have to wait and see what it looks like. I don't really want to just start eating a bunch of... I mean, I know I just took some stuff off the street cart. It's probably nowhere near as good as what this is, but I don't know. I mean, it's pretty simple. It was meat and vegetables. If I can see what it is, or if I can tell what it is, then I'll eat it. I just don't like all the fancy, when things look more fancy than they should be. It's just food.
I can see that.
yeah, after a few minutes, the guy comes up. You can see he's holding 2 trays on his left and right arm, and he comes forward, and you realize, oh no, those aren't 2 trays, those are 2 plates. As he then puts them in front of you, a very large plate, probably around this big, is like, I don't know what that is in inches, but probably like a foot. It's maybe like a foot. Yeah, I think that's a foot, about a foot in diameter. But there's just there's a decent portion on it. Like, it's small for the plate, obviously. You can see for you, Fiera, there's like this little block that seems to be bread cut and just layered. That looks a lot like the building you're in, and you can see a white sauce has been poured over it, and then a very fine either rosemary or some kind of leaf has been put atop of it, and you can see it just kind of having pooled there perfectly, with a few dots put on the side, which probably either some puree of carrots and stuff like that. So insignificantly small as where you question why the hell it's even there, but it looks very nice. And for you, Arya, since you get the breakfast and Fiora got the brunch, you get a little bit different. You can see a little tube, a silver tube that's been placed in the middle of the plate, where a sunny side up egg has been put inside of there. And you can also see just a lot of garnishes has been kind of put around it to make it look like this little piece of egg is kind of surrounded in a blue sauce that looks like a lake, and then, like I said, these green varnishes and vegetables placed around it. And then you immediately notice, oh, I see what he's doing here. This looks like the city. Okay, I get it. As he puts them both down there, obviously following a theme. And he says, yes, here it is, and of course your accompanying beverages. We always recommend with the white truffle bread with the mashed white sauce made out of fresh parsnips that are grown here in the vicinity. We usually like to have our customers have it with some nice white wine, because it kind of opens up their tongue a bit, allows you to get a wider breadth of the different flavors that are inside of it. For a starter, it's very good because it kind of makes you tip your toes into the water before you go into the deep end when we get to maybe the 4th or 5th course. So I hope you will enjoy. The same thing goes for you, of course, Miss Arya. However, this is more simple. There's a sunny side up egg in the middle. We have some Brussels sprout leaves sprinkled out on the side. Underneath there, you can see a layer of shredded carrots that will add a bit more extra flavor, a bit more punch when eating the egg in itself. I always recommend to maybe mix it a bit so you have the full flavor inside of your mouth at the same time, so you can get the full experience. Yes, and you do not have any drink. Is there anything you would wish to have?
Is there a way I can upgrade to the expanded experience so that I can just get all the drinks and I don't have to think about it?
Oh, yes, of course. Most definitely. That's easily done. Then with your for the egg and the vegetables, I usually recommend this very light rosé. You can have it. It is a bit more sweet. The strong protein taste of the egg usually is very dry, but the sweet tone of the rosé usually adds a bit more flavor that it otherwise would be lacking. A very good choice to choose the expanded menu. Truly gives you the best experience we have. And for you, sir, you might not be partaking in the foods, but is there anything you would like to maybe drink?
Irik's been trying to hold back a laughter as this entire thing has been going on. Do you have any just tea, regular tea? That'd be
Oh, yes.
very simple. Very simple, please.
It's simple in taste, you mean, or simple in the way it is done? Many different.
All of the above. Just very, very normal. The most normal tea you have.
Alright, I will find for you the most normal tea we have. Very good. Alright, well then, please enjoy your first course. I hope you enjoy. Like I said, anything you need, please just ring the bell, and I will be of immediate assistance. Enjoy. Bows and then leaves.
It's not going to be normal tea, is it?
No.
I definitely don't think it's gonna be normal
I
tea.
don't think they have normal tea.
Oh, this is great.
It'll be an experience.
This kind of reminds me of home a little bit with all the extra courses and things, paired with it. Is this like this at home for you, Fira?
Well, when we went out, it was. At home, it was much simpler. But no, you're actually not too far. Quite nice. Actually, I guess I could share a little bit. So both my parents used to, well, not used to, they, traveled around. They went to different countries and, did their best to make peace with all the locals and all the different types of individuals you meet. They met a lot. They've been to Colas, they've been here, and they went. My father went to Tellus once. And Yeshiman, of course. Quite a variety. What they used to do when I was younger is we would make a different course from a different country, from a different type of people, once a week. So once a week, my mother would make something of a dwarven variety. We'd go out to the store and do our best to get the ingredients of whatever background they had, and did our best to make the same meal that they made, that they made when they visited. So it was kind of different.
Sounds like a fun tradition.
It was. For a long time.
Eric, what was it like for you growing up?
It was, I guess interesting to some people, probably boring to others. Didn't have that many traditions like that. My parents weren't they weren't always around. When they did come, I mean, they were away for work a lot, and they didn't spend a whole lot of time with me when they did come in. But you know, when they did come in to visit, they would try. They would try to be, you know, all parenty. They'd buy a bunch of food, but it wasn't fancy by any means. It was just kind of, they made it look better than it was. It was just kind of them trying their best given the amount of time they had. Yeah, I don't know. They were just always in a rush to go places. They'd come in and they would be all excited to see me, and then they would just leave again. So just never really had time to create traditions like that. Just otherwise spent all my times in guilds, in workshops, just working with people. Street food was just kind of, that was it. We'd get food on the way to the store. Get something super simple to eat while you're sitting at your work table. We didn't really have customs like that.
My home was very like proper. My parents were right hand man to some important people. So I had to kind of act the part, not as extensive as Izarel, but I still had to maintain an appearance. So a lot of fancy dinners with people that didn't necessarily want to be around, but I had to kind of be that part. My dad wanted me to follow in his footsteps and be more of the diplomatic side of the family. I chose not to and kind of did my own thing. My professor recommended the Inquisition, and that's just kind of where it went.
It's your own thing, so none of us are really doing what our parents did.
I still, to this day, can't even tell you specifically what they did. Even if I wanted to do what they did, I couldn't. They were just out doing it, whatever it is.
Interesting.
Which is part of the reason that if they forget who I am, it may not be such a bad thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because they probably don't know I exist.
Your parents might.
Well, I don't think so.
Curious, because what happened to us affected our blood. We remember you. If all of our blood's connected and your blood is connected to your parents, then perhaps they know.
Ooh, that's a good theory.
Interesting.
But we really can't know unless we actually found them. And they're in Yeshiman, I believe you said that you last heard.
Well, yeah, that was 2 years ago. It's been some time. The kind of left Yeshiman in a bit of a hurry. Yeah, they could be anywhere.
I am curious where all the attacks will come from. We know Azathia. I'm quite certain Tellus as well. Azathia and Kolis are going to sign this pact, then Kolis will attack as well. Yeshiman, I feel like that's quite up in the air. There are quite a few soldiers there. We do have some territory there that we kind of share. It'll be interesting to find out.
right? Because I mean, I'm looking at the way things have kind of progressed here. Soon and near there was a whole bunch of people dying and assassinations of like fancy people. Um, I left Yeshamon just after the assassination of the king. So is it safe to assume that assassinations are now kind of in relation to the the war and the problems that are going on?
Yes. I mean, have you heard about the mess that's happened in Tellus? Seems like every year or so, whoever's in charge just gets killed. And somebody else just places them.
Every
There's no
year?
every like couple of years from now here.
That doesn't seem very sustainable.
No.
You build a foundation for a... if everything's just falling apart every couple years.
What's actually down there though? Because all I saw of it was like a couple little port villages and a demon attack, and that was terrifying. So, what's like what goes on down there?
Death.
Great.
Yes, if I'm to find a way to help all these countries reach a higher standard of living, Tellus will definitely be the most difficult. And probably last on my list.
Yeah, because from what I saw in the places that we did stop at, it was primitive at best.
Sounds about right. Hmm. Well, I guess till then, I'm very interested to see what will happen in a couple days as everything will change.
Everything as we know it's gonna fall apart.
Yep. Most likely.
After we're done eating, which I'm sure we still have a long ways to go, because how many courses are there and we've only gotten the first?
7.
Um, what's our plan for after breakfast?
So I have a couple ideas. We need to survive. If we want to accomplish anything, we need to better our chance at surviving. Which means we need information. We need better tools, better allies, and just better resources in general. So we can go look out for some ally in the city, or we can go look for a way to better arm ourselves. Ideally, they're one and the same. We also need to rid ourselves of this curse, but I'll be honest, I think Izarel is sorely needed for that. Because it's quite complicated.
Remember correctly, you said if he appears to us again, don't interact with him. Just ignore him.
Yes.
But does our already interacted, does the fact that we've already interacted with them mean anything? Like, does it, can we just like pretend he's not there now and everything's going to be okay?
No, we have this until we die. And like I said, it will most likely be passed on if we have children. So,
How did just someone answer this question for me? How did I go from just simple workshop making some things for some farmers to now I'm missing a finger, I have a blood curse, and I'm probably gonna die in a war, and it's only been about 4 days.
You know, Eirik, sometimes I wonder how life got so messed up so fast. My life, it's kind of more expected, but when you put it in your perspective, I feel bad for you, man.
no, so do I, yes.
This is what I'm saying. I've
This
been in
is what I was-
Sunanir for a long time. I grew up here, or well,
Mhm.
there. Then the last 2 years I've been in Sunanir. There hasn't been anything happening. Nothing happened. Life was just life. Nothing really occurred. And now all of a sudden,
I mean, nothing you saw, but now that the curtain's open, can't close it. You've now entered a world that has always existed, but you never really saw or understood, and now you're beginning to. And
It's
you
like-
can't go back.
Is this like your book that I read?
Not quite.
Oh.
It's more just understanding how the world really works.
yeah, I made it this far in life not paying attention to things, and it made life really easy. I just did my job. Didn't care what's going on. I mean, you're right. I didn't really pay attention. So, like, maybe things were happening. But, I mean, come on. Like, this is ridiculous. We just got teleported out of a city because of a war.
Yes,
Fair.
yes. Convenient.
I also find it strange that your person suddenly you met somebody at the place that gave us the curse and they just happened to be able to teleport us out. That in itself is still very strange to me, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, it's always good to make friends.
Is it, though? Really?
And like I said, he has the same thing we have, so he has a reason to aid us in researching. That's why he's here.
I just have trouble trusting people in general.
That's a good idea.
It does bring up a point, though. I know I've said it already, but what about all the other hundreds of people, thousands of people down there that this happened to? Like, we're obviously not there anymore, so we can't exactly go into the underground and find out. But, like, do we have a way maybe of being in contact with Suna and Nir still and seeing if, because I know we told people like, hey, more weird things might be happening and more people might come out with this information about this curse and this weird blood mark or whatever. So like, is there a way that we can maybe like keep tabs on that? Like, are we just gonna appear to be like the really weird, crazy people, like with weird markings on their skin, or is this gonna like snowball?
I mean, we have Arya took those stones, so she can contact Cinnifer anytime.
True. I want to know that there's at least maybe a few other people that might be going through some trouble. Because this seems very localized to us right now, and there's like no. We think there might be more people, but we have we don't have any proof.
Well, the purveyor of the event, he also got the mark. And from what I believe some of the research we found is, those who get the mark lose their wealth. So I'm curious to see what happens to him. Oh, and it was recorded, right? This has been done in other areas, so the mark's been recorded in some of the books we found at the Inquisition Library. So there are records of it.
Maybe in this Inquisition library there might be more.
Possibly.
I mean,
Is
this
this
library.
also something we should be hiding from people? Like the fact that we're just like walking around with it like open, is that gonna like cause problems?
I mean, mine's been covered up. With my sleeve. I didn't realize that yours was
Yeah,
just
that's
out.
all I've been doing as well.
I mean, I can roll down my sleeve, that's no problem. I'm just saying if someone does see it, is it like a problem for us? Like, is this something that's like known about? Or are we gonna be like marked
It's
people that are now under investigation because we have weird markings?
I think it would take quite a keen mind and eye to recognize anything about this. You'd have to know heretical magic down to a teeth.
Right.
Mm.
There's just so many questions.
Yeah, and I have like 98% of them.
I don't know. Fierre's probably got you topped.
I have a lot of questions that I'm working on.
Yeah,
One
you
at
might
a
have
time.
questions, but you have like a basis of sort of understanding.
It takes a lot of effort, though. Like well, oh, I haven't shared that. Sorry, Arya. It seems Rinipila's been removed. She's no longer with us.
Do you know by who?
Yes.
Are you not willing to share?
It wouldn't be a good idea for me to. It's one of those things where if I talk about it, then, you know, I get in trouble.
Oh man, how does Arya want to respond to that? Because I know what Felicia as a person would do, but that's not who's playing the game right now.
Let's just say I had to go through a great deal of trouble to find out. And the more I speak about it, the higher chance of danger upon myself.
In exchange, because you're with us, it puts us in danger.
Yes. And even if you knew at this moment, it wouldn't really help.
So at this time, I'm going to let this go. But when it becomes relevant, I trust that you will tell me.
That I can do.
Okay.
Alright, so here is the most normal tier I could find. And he comes up, silver tray, very elegantly crafted teapot. I mean, it has the most extravagant tea hole. I don't know how you call the tube at the end of a teapot that does a few loops around. Very tall, very thin, put out, and he says, well, this is a very normal to find in most regions of Azathia. Azathian windspread flachland tea, dried and lavished with silver grey honeybees. Just to add that extra sweetness. I know since you're smelling the scents of the different courses, you might partake in them like indirectly, and this tea I found is quite the supplement towards this, because it has a very strong taste, but not so much in the way of smell. So it kind of mixes with the aromas of the dishes that your friends are having, and then it just melts with the flavor that you get from drinking the tea. Very unique experience, believe me. And he pours you a bit. Here you are. And anything else you need, please just call me, alright? I'm glad to serve you. Alright, please enjoy your meals. And he goes back.
Just what you asked for.
This is weird.
Why is it weird? Because it's fancy?
Yes. Yes.
Why don't you try it?
Yes. Take a sip.
Man, it's some good ass tea is all I'm gonna say. And yeah, it's like kind of this sweet tea because it has honey inside of it. And this might just be personal preference coming from me as a GM, but there's just something about tea and honey, man. You just gotta, it kind of just, and he's right, usually tea has a very strong scent, right? But this has a very kind of a minor scent, so you don't smell it as much. And yeah, so you have a very flavorful experience that is concentrated purely on the flavors that you're tasting, and not kind of diminished or added by the scent you have of it. Instead, kind of does mixing with the scent you have of the dishes around you. And whether or not you like that experience is entirely up to you, but that is what is happening.
Yeah, it's still too much. It's too much. I don't get it. It's warm. It's tea.
Yep. So what do you think about putting glamour in a cat?
In a cap?
In a cat?
In a cat, so like he could like walk around.
He
Yes.
already was one.
Like, are you talking like a house cat?
I think so. I don't think I can make it any bigger. But like I said, I think we need to remove him from the ring within the next couple days.
Why? Why in the next couple days?
Because after what's gonna happen, I'm in a foreign country that might not like me in a couple days. If people find out where I'm from.
Couldn't you just like wear different style clothes to make it not look like you're from Canaan?
I mean, I could. That seems like more effort. And we need to
But it-
remove him from the ring anyways, right?
Yes. I just don't know how he would feel about becoming a house cat. I mean, he's got dreams that's going to make us all rich.
Well, this is temporary. Eventually, we can,
Hold up. Hold
do
up.
better.
He's got dreams that are gonna make us rich?
Yes. We've had long conversations about his new glamour wear clothing, and we've talked about ideas back and forth. And I have a share in the company that once it comes up and running, and I would obviously share it with you guys because through you guys is how I became part of his business.
See, Eric, he has dreams.
I'm still wildly confused about this ring and how he's just existing. Like, you're having... I mean, I've heard a little bit, but, like... You're having full conversations with him?
Yes! Like, he's a fully conscious in there. If you would just let you use the ring for a day, you would totally see what we're talking about.
No. No. Do you honestly tell me right now to my face, do you think this brain needs a permanent fixture of another being inside of it?
He might help distract you and make you less anxious.
No. That's not how this works.
And it would allow nobody else to be in your mind.
That's true. Well, somewhat. There's limits, but it helps.
You're gonna have to... you're gonna have to give me some, like, really, really good evidence as to why I should wear that ring.
Hmm.
Like, really good evidence.
Well, you're free to wait until I can turn him into a cat.
And then when he becomes a cat, is he gonna still be, like,
See, I'm
talking?
not quite sure yet, because I've never done it before, but it's the best idea I can think of that I can probably get done short term.
Well, let's discuss this with him once Izrael comes back.
We're just gonna have a
That's fair.
house cat following us around, aren't we?
Mostly, yes. He'll be attached to me.
Wait, if you put him into a house cat, technically we wouldn't be able to communicate with him. But if I do my mind whispers, we'd be able to contact him. If he can't speak out loud.
Oof. Possibly.
Fear's like, oh no. Not all the time in my head.
You're talking about mentally communicating with a former living creature inside of a house cat. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Look, I just feel bad after we killed him, and then we found out he's in the ring. And he doesn't seem as bad as I thought. It's either that or I can just force him out and his life ends. But his life hasn't ended yet.
If
So
there's
I'm
a
looking for an
way,
alternative.
there's a way to bring him back, it would be great. I think it would be the greatest gift that we could give him. And I think he would pretty much be in our debt and would do whatever we asked.
Exactly.
And he knows we've killed him once, so he knows we can kill him again.
I'll remind you, all three of you died, or nearly died while that happened.
Yeah.
So
those are my,
really, he he barely got away. Like,
We're stronger now than we were then.
Maybe. We do need a bit more experience. Would like to throw Endel into some sort of fighting event once this training is complete.
I'd
not
like
the
to
pit.
We're not there. I would love to do the pit, but we.
I could use my sparring abilities and kind of spar with him.
Oh, I do like that.
It would be great experience for him.
I will add that to the training regimen. Right, but back to what we can do. I think we should look for someone around the city that is influential that we can trade our skill set for the resources while we're in town. Because we need to better protect ourselves. My pockets are getting a little thin as I can't really go home to get more. I only brought so much here. And I could really use more pearls.
So what, are we just gonna go look for, like, odd jobs?
Something like that. I'm sure there's something here that needs to be done by somebody that has clout.
I guess courses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 will appear, and I will not make a diligent and in-depth review of how my boy describes all of them. However, though those portions are small for what they are, you feel extremely full at the end of it, and probably struggle with the last course that comes by and wish you were dead. This is talking from personal experience.
I would be passing little bits to Eric.
You're just gonna pile up in front of me.
Yes.
I'm not touching them.
Flavor explosions, and they get worse by the course. Also talking from experience. However,
For the record, by course number 7, I'm just full on laughing at the guy as he explains the courses.
yeah, he just kind of turns you out since he sees that at least Fiero's pretending to be invested, I assume.
Mhm.
And that's all he cares for. However, the price is 10 gold for Fiera and Aria.
Ooh, guess not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
I was expecting more.
No. 10 gold is like, for the average
it's a
guy,
lot.
it's a fucking lot for just one meal. But as you kind of finish off, it did take 3 hours until you were over. Because there are extremely long breaks between them to allow your mouth to,
Yep.
you know, rinse out with some of the wines and to get air and all that jazz. But you see at the end of it, when you were here extremely early, you were here at like 8 a.m., which, you know, they just opened, so they did not many customers. But at the end of your courses, and it's kind of like 11 now, after the 3 hours, you do see that like other people are starting to kind of come in. Some are just lounging in the bottom area, but it seems like the business kind of starts around this time. As he then just says, thank you very much. I hope I will see your faces again, and we have a new course every was. We procure a new course. Or you can maybe come for other times of the day. There we also serve the different things. Our special lunch menus that is served, and of course our wine and dine in the evening. And yes, I just hope you have a nice, pleasant day. Hope you have success in whatever endeavors you are doing, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Grab my bag and start walking out.
Yeah. As you all kind of turn to leave, he does give a hard stinker to Eirik, but then turns around and attends to the other people there. And you're back on the streets.
Oh, so full.
I feel
Yeah,
fine.
Let's walk this off.
Yeah, because you wouldn't eat any of the food I gave you.
I had my meat on a stick before we went in.
He has a point.
Jesus.
I also only spent 5 silver.
That's fair. No, that's fair. So usually when you go to an event like that, you go with people you want to buddy up to, impress. Somebody you want to lower their guard as they chow down.
Well, now we know of this place, so if we find
I don't
somebody
know if
like
I want
that...
to come back.
It seems like a
Yeah.
big commitment to come back to another
It's a big
3-hour
commitment.
meal.
Yes. So do you know where... Does this city have a mayor, Arya? Or like, who's in charge of the outer city, De La Solis? Like, not the archive, but the city.
Try to see if I know that information.
Yeah, you can roll a history check.
9.
9, and for some reason it didn't show up on roll 20. Dang, might have to reload.
Jack, you're really quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, because my mic, I was too far away.
Sorry.
Yeah, it didn't show up on roll 20, so might have to reload your D&D Beyond. But it's a 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a bit unfamiliar. You didn't really delve too deep into the politics of this. Your best guess is either there's also a Chamber of Dukes chilling here, or maybe, as maybe the name of the archive implies, Mr. Zephyrus Silberstein himself might be in control. Maybe he's just, you know, the one responsible for the library. You aren't quite sure.
Whoever it may be, I have a feeling they're going to be in the middle. Seems like everything's going to funnel that way.
Let's see. So looking at the map, the inner Christ is surrounded by, is that a stone wall?
No. It looks like it's built in a way that looks like a wall, but these are buildings. You can see windows and all that stuff, and they all vary in the architecture. And you can also see very distinctively 10 towers coming out of different sections that all have emblems on them, kind of indicating the different parts of the 10 different colleges that are here.
Oh, right, distinct colleges. Impressive. Gosh. So do we want to start at the top and go after the bigwig? Or should we just work our way up, because he probably doesn't know who we are or care who we are?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get much time with anyone significant right away. That seems a bit ridiculous.
We might... We might be able to.
If we could, that would save a lot of time.
I might be able to pull some of my strings.
I mean, be my guest. But what do you need to do?
Well, I mean, try to get close to where we believe we could be. I'm sure if there's somebody in charge, there'd be guards of some sort. But is that something that we should do without Izero? She knows the city, she knows the people.
He probably has the best connections. Maybe we can wait. Is there like a guard walking around or like some authority type figure?
Yeah, can make a perception check.
Well, not what I see. With a 6.
With my passive 22, would I see one?
Yeah, you passed a couple.
I mean, it feels like the city just runs itself, doesn't it?
No, there's a couple guards around.
I mean, those are just citizens, aren't they?
So I'm gonna point out the ones that I see.
Yeah, and you do. 1, 2, 3. A group of 3. They have They have like these green cloaks all over, and they don't seem to be like super heavily armored on the outside, you know, with steel plate and stuff like that. They seem to be wearing like these cloaks over the armor, so they kind of fit in more with the general populace, which is probably why Fiera didn't even see them, since they could pass as just normal travelers. But you can see a emblem on their back, which is a circle with 10 dots that go around it, with a circle in the middle as well. And they're just kind of walking there, carrying just, you know, swords on their sides, and just walking around patrolling the area, but very casually.
So these are guards? I guess
Symbols
I'll...
on their back that would distinguish them as guards.
Understood. I guess I'll hastily kind of waddle up to one of them. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Yes, how can I help you?
We see the three of us are kind of new to Della Solis. We're trying to understand the place a little bit better. I guess I'm kind of confused by who's in charge here. I understand that there's a bunch of colleges. But like, who runs the city portion?
Oh, well, it's the college and educational based institutes. So it's mostly managed either by Ovalmir for high political stakes, the city north from here, but most often it's just from the Denari High Office, which the professors belong to.
I see. And what about like the local defenses? Like say a demon were to appear outside the walls. Who takes care of it?
Oh, well, we do. We have high defenses in the city. Obviously, we are inside of the several great woods. Leaving this portion undefended would be a bad idea. So we have the Veren Row Circle Guard, which we also belong to, and we also have the Green Vanguard, which regularly scouts their area around. Since the woods are so dense, we have to make sure that no approaching demon is making their way over here. So you do not worry about your safety. We are well equipped for any sort of incursions that might happen.
Oh, well, that actually puts me quite at ease. Although I did hear upon my travels here that one of the higher class demons were spotted east of here. Has that been dealt with, or is it headed this way at all?
East here, where we heard about one that was southeast
Is
from
that...
here, if that is the same one you're
yes.
talking about. I think it has been dealt with. We haven't gotten any updates of it since we received the notice. We've been keeping an eye out, but our focus has unfortunately shifted over the last couple of days. Many of our guards were sent to Ovalmir, reinforcing the city, which is why we are actually quite thin at the moment.
Oh, is there danger up there?
No, it's just because of the political conflicts.
Oh, I've heard. Unfortunate. For everyone, really. Even, well, I guess especially here, if your guard's thinning, that's... But there's enough here to keep the city safe?
Oh, definitely. We just have to, kind of our green vanguard is just a bit more diminished, but we left all the necessary city guards to protect the city itself. Our scouting width is just a bit lower than usual.
Oh, I see. Well, that puts me quite at ease. If I did want to, I guess, I mean, you've done a wonderful job, nothing there, but if I want to talk to, like, your boss or supervisor, if I had more questions, like, where could I go if I was feeling, unsafe?
Well, you would have to go to one of the barracks if you would like to talk to our boss. But he's usually extremely busy and only, well, special needs can't call for his attentions. It's not someone you can just walk up to.
Ah, of course. Well, I guess thank you so much for answering my questions. I'll leave you to your work.
Yes, well, I hope you have a good stay. Stay safe. I guess.
Oh, usual.
Who's on?
Wander back. Oh gosh, what was the guy's name who was like the big figurehead for political things? Can you write that in Roll20?
You mean the organization?
I believe you said a person when I asked who was, or maybe it was an organization.
Well, I can just repeat what he said. It's usually like big political stuff gets managed by Ovalmir, which is a city up north.
Right.
And the other smaller stuff gets dealt with by the Denari High Office. Which I can just write here. Thank you, assistant. Never gets old.
Gotcha. Oh,
See?
okay. There we go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Luckily I can resume the recording. Did you want to click mute and accidentally disconnect it, or what happened?
No, it was an internet glitch.
Oh.
Like my browser said error.
Oh.
But now we know that you should...
Yep.
If someone has to stream at some point, it's definitely not Felicia.
That's okay. Actually, I'll waddle right back. Just ask real quick. Oh, sorry. One more question. The Denari High Office, is that in town, or is that in the colleges?
It's in the colleges.
Is there like a picture I should look for, or like a color building, or?
Well, the office is split into the 10 parts. They have a central building inside of the circle itself. Yeah, I do not know the specifics myself. That's the political side of things, I usually tend to just ignore that.
That makes sense. Unfortunately, I have to dig into politics. Never fun, but lovely. And the quickest way there?
Well, you would have to be granted access inside. It's only permitted by either people of the institution or enlisted students.
Oh, perfect. No problem there. Thank you. Now I'll back to the group.
Okay.
Whew. Okay. So quick rundown. I think we need to go to the middle. Like we thought. Surprise. I maybe have a contact that can get us inside, as none of us look like students. But Arya, if you have a better idea, or I don't know, Ira, do you know how to get past people that won't let you get past them?
I have my badge.
That might work. You said you're part of the Inquisition, right?
Yes.
And they work through all of Azathia.
Yes.
Okay, so they'll know if they see the badge.
They should. If they don't, I'll be concerned.
Good point. Well, I'll leave it to you then. We need to get to the middle building.
And we're for sure wanting to do this without Izrael.
I mean, we have literally no way of knowing where she is or how long she's gone for.
We could start with the library and start doing research.
So, pretty sure for that we need access as well. I guess we could get a startup. See, I'm worried that we can find a method to. It's such a complicated issue, right? Because the curse that oh boy, I want to say Celia. That doesn't seem right. Is that right? Celia, the girl.
Do you mean Tila?
Wow, I was even close.
I was so confused.
I was
Celia,
confused.
wow.
That's the name of the campaign.
Yep. Too many names. Yep. So her curse hasn't been cured after all this time, and the research that's here is still here, so I assume somebody's looked at it. And now we've been given a similar but different curse. So are we looking for research notes, or are we looking for a researcher? Because if there was a cure, I don't think it would be in a book. But I think somebody that can find a cure may have written a book. If that makes sense.
So it would be in a book.
The book would be a first step process. But yes.
You realize how stupid that just sounded, right?
I literally just went in a circle, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So yes, let's try to get into the archives.
Okay, so you're just going to the archives. Then there are, as you kind of get there, you can see the large outer perimeters of these college buildings. And you notice that there are different entrances you can take. You can either go from the north, the east, the west, or the south. You are currently somewhat here. So you are close to the north or the west. You can decide which entrance you would like to take. Go to the north.
Does one look busier than the other?
No, not really.
The closest entrance?
They're kind of similar distance. If you wanna, split a hair, the western is closer.
We would just want to go to the western entrance?
Okay. Let's start walking.
Okay. You go there. You can see this large kind of why do I always want to say tube? Tunnel. That's the word I'm looking for, not a tube. Or like an archway that kind of goes through the entire building. You can see that there's a front kind of door that has been opened, and a gate that has also been lifted, so it's double secured. On the other end, you can see it's the same thing, so it can be closed from the outside and the inside. Yeah, and there are smaller doors also built into the larger ones, as you kind of inspect them closely. The inside of the tunnels themselves also has a few doors that seem to be going left and right into the buildings themselves, since it's just a structural building with a walkway leading through it. However, you do see on the left, on kind of the portion where you are, there's a little counter set up there. You can see a little window that has been carved out inside of the interior space of the tunnel. You can also see two guards on the outside standing there, left and right, kind of flanking the entrance. And students seem to be going in, but every time they go in, they kind of go to the counter. They seem to show something, talk a little bit, and then they continue through, walking inside. You do see one kind of go in, talk a bit, and then kind of walk out again. It seems like everyone who's passing by here kind of goes to that counter.
Well, let's hope they give you a +2. Oh, you're muted.
Arya, speak up.
I don't see why it would be a problem. I mean, we didn't have any problems in the last library that we visited.
This one's just a little bit more significant, I feel, so... Yeah. I don't know if they just have like a tighter grip on things here.
I'm gonna walk up to the counter and acting like I own the place.
Okay, you see a very young human male boy. Seems to be just probably in his early 20s. Has a kind of nice white shirt on with a kind of semi-high collar tucked in there. He seems to be just taking notes and stuff, and sees you approach and says, "Oh, good morning. How may I help you?"
Hi, my associates and I kind of gesture over, need access to the Inquisition archives for some researches that we're currently working on.
Oh, Inquisition archives. Alright, can I see your credentials?
And then I'll show my badge and then show my mark.
Looks at it, and have you informed anyone on the inside yet who can confirm this?
No, not yet. We just recently arrived in town.
Alright, well, I have to first check up with the officials on the inside, whether or not they can let you in. It's, as you should know, highly supervised, so I will get back to you, but meanwhile you can just take this token, and then the requested member will come to you, and then will inform you whether or not you can enter.
Okay. May we just kind of look around the other parts of the library while we're waiting?
Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, entrance to the inside is only allowed for the Wissenseinheit. But for the time being, you can go into the Neue Halle. That is allowed for public entrance.
Okay. And then how do we get there?
very easy. You just go right through, and then if you pass into the middle on the left side, there's a large structure, and that will be the one that you can enter.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
No.
Anything else?
Kind of bow down. No, that's it for now. And then with this coin, they'll be able to find us.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
And then I'll walk back to the group. So they just have to double check my credentials. It shouldn't be too long. We do have access to the public side of the library that we can look for different things over there.
Sure. I guess I wouldn't mind looking around. I'm sure all the interesting books are probably waiting for us.
Most definitely.
And I presume you step inside.
As we're walking around, I don't know what she looks like. I will keep an eye for someone that looks... How would I describe someone I've never seen?
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
That looks more like a teacher than a student, or like an official that is older, that is female, and probably elven, that is not a student. That's probably a lot.
I was just
boy.
about to say.
Jeez.
I know what
I'm
you're
gonna
looking.
look for someone that's giving orders to somebody else that is clearly in charge.
Okay, then find a mirror. Yeah, you can make a, I guess, insight check would be more applicable here, since you're kind of vibe checking more than just looking.
That's not terrible.
It's a 12. You step inside and you enter inside of the kind of larger, now very spacious interior of here, the college grounds, aka... God, what's it called again? Oh, I knew I was struggling with this word. What is the state of a college called again? Not college grounds, they're called...
Campus?
Boy.
Campus, that's it. Yes, Greg's got it. The interior campus. You can see right in front of you as you enter on the right side, there seems to be like a kind of wider tower that leads up. Nothing too particular on architecture side that would kind of tell you or indicate what kind of thing gets taught inside of there. It just seems to be a squat tower, a somewhat pointy roof. It is smaller than the actual walls / college buildings on the outside. Right in front of you can see several apartment-like structures that are similar to the outer walls, just situated differently in more like of a block format instead of, you know, the wall. On the left side you can see another larger college buildings, and these seem to all be probably like either study halls or lecture halls and stuff like that, but you just kind of follow the instructions of the guide. Go to the middle. You can see in the middle there is this also another like circular like building built. It looks architecturally similar to how a church would usually be built, and it's kind of flanked by two other structures that also have a very similar build to like a very gothic sort of church style architecture. And you can see once again these were built, not terraformed. These were definitely built. And in the middle of these kind of structures there seems to be a larger spire that seems to be coming out. But as you then kind of look from the left from there, you do see then the library. You can see a lot of people. Most of the people seem to be going from there or going out. And on several occasions you would see a person you have just described, Fiera. But you don't see many people who are like giving orders or stuff like that. You aren't quite sure of a definite hierarchy just by walking through the campus. There's no one giving orders to anyone. People are just spinning around. And And as you're walking through, you see there are a lot of kind of parks, just big green areas where students are just sitting, talking with each other, studying, and, you know, doing their day-to-day college life. Yeah. And kind of after taking that in for a while, just go to the library. You can also see written there, kind of formed in stone, the Neue Halle, which is Elvish, which translates to new hall. And it's really like a very typical library, how you would just imagine it. Kind of has a circular first part of the building, but then kind of widens out into the more kind of geometric style that you're used to. Pillars on the side just holding it. Built, in a sense, extravagantly, but not too over the top. But as you kind of walk up the stairs, you pass a few students. They seem to be talking. Some do look at you, since you definitely, you know, differ from the norm here. You don't wear any college robes or stuff like that. And you not necessarily seem older than most people. You do see a few elder people here who also seem to be dressed in student robes. So that also seems to be somewhat common, not too rare, but, you know, definitely Eirik looks different, just from the way he's a bit more raw, if you so will. But on several occasions, you do see people who are similarly dressed as Eirik. Also, like a lot of pockets and stuff like that. Big bags with stuff inside of them. Mostly vials of liquid inside of there. Kind of brewing equipment and stuff like that. So you're not too out of place, but you're kind of a rarity, I guess I could say. And as you enter inside of the library chambers, great big hall meets you. And this just seems to be a open spaced hall that is kind of just lightly furnished. You can see once again on the very end of the hall, two big doors left and right, painted green, big handles made out of probably gold, or at least covered in the color of gold. And in the middle of these two is a desk with like 3 people sitting behind them and doing, you know, just desk work.
Well, is there anything basic we want to look into while we're waiting?
That's a good question.
One thought is maybe that flower that's being used. I feel like that might be easy enough to find. How it grows, where it grows, why it has effects that can strengthen you against curses. Oh, I don't think I wrote down the name of the flower.
Wasn't it a type of lotus, the red lotus?
Yeah, I think it did have a simple name. Sure, we can kind of start broad too. I guess I'll go up to the desk. Yeah. Hi, it's my first time here. I was hoping I could get some help finding. I guess you have so many books here. I'm looking for something in plants, a specific plant, but I don't know too much about it. To the people at the desk.
Yeah, it just excuse me, it just sounds like you were just adding more to that.
I'm kind of thinking as I'm going here. I believe it's a type of lotus. If that helps at all, if you have a particular section.
Yes, we have obviously botany is quite a big section. Yeah. For any specifics, you can definitely just ask any of the page boys inside of the library halls themselves. They will be happy to help. And if your field of study is biology and specific in the botanical side of subjects, you can maybe find some of the students who might be studying longer terms, they might be able to help you out. Maybe they have the same research topic as you. That's quite common. So yeah, you can always help each other out to try and find the things you haven't found. Yes. Other than that, our recommendation is just to hire a page boy. It does cost a small bit, but they will do their best to find the things you wish for.
Oh, well, that seems like the simplest method. Great. And then, do you have a section as well on, I mean, history is quite broad, but specifically history of older, I guess, archaeology in Azathia?
We have a section of archaeology, yes. However, most of the older tomes are inside of the main archive. All the books inside of the Neue Halle are duplicates that we have made of the archive books and are just very, let's say, common books that get often used to read for studying purposes. This
see.
hall was built so people wouldn't have to always navigate the actual archives because they're so extensive, you can easily get lost. And so all common terms have been built up here, duplicated to have more easy access for the public and the students alike.
I see. That makes sense. So if I was looking for a specific professor, or I guess an alumnus, they would probably be in the main archive.
Well, you said searching for the professor?
Yes, I will be meeting someone here in a bit. I believe they're probably in another section, but yeah, you know how it is. You need to get permission to go through, so I'm waiting for that.
Well, yes. So the professors, you can either find them on the off times. They might be in the respective offices. They're indicated by the towers on the outside, depending which professor you're trying to search for. The Zephyrus archives themselves only limited access. Only very specialized individuals who have been granted special access are allowed to enter them. Students and even professors aren't allowed to enter them. Yes, since these are extremely
Old and rare and delicate, yes.
Yes, and the less disturbance, the better. So selected individuals are allowed to peruse, if you so will.
Oh, well, I'm very excited to do that then. Thank you.
You're welcome. And goes back.
Back to the others. Well, until we get our A-OK, shall we get a page boy and see if we can learn about plants?
Yeah, I think that's a great place to look. Definitely something constructive that we could be doing.
Eric, do you have any other interests?
Yeah, I mean, I've got there's usually plenty of things on my mind I can
Well, yes.
look into.
Something constructive for now, I assume you have.
I mean, for like the immediate, like right now, not really, but I mean, there's some things I want to just, do some research on.
No? No, very well. Well, let's just make sure we keep each other in eye shot so I don't have to look for you all.
Yeah, I won't. I said yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever, I'm not leaving. I don't, not going anywhere alone.
Perfect. Then I'll go look for a page boy.
Oh.
Whatever that looks like. I assume they have like jerseys or work shirts.
I would look for one and instantly just go like this.
Meanwhile, I'm just looking the opposite direction.
Yes, they are relatively easily to find since they have been placed in a way that people have easy access to them since they have to be available. Seem to be younger, elves, half elves, some humans, really boys, probably in their early teens, and they're just kind of dressed in very tight kind of linen clothes, very tight pants as well. kind of look like runner boys, basically, just for the inside of a library. Very nicely done hair, and they all have like a green bow tie around with a kind of metal circle thing in the middle that resembles the sign that the guards also wear on the back of the cape, just a circle with 10 dots around and then a circle in the middle of that. And yeah, you can easily find one. He will come up to you and say, "Yes, hello, you've called for me?"
Yes, we are looking for books specific to lotuses. We're trying to find a more rare one, so I guess if you can help us find that section or books on rare lotuses that grow.
Okay, well, lotuses, do you maybe have any more specific information about the lotus other than that it's rare?
It's used as an herb for medicine, for people that are weak, maybe have like poor blood flow.
Okay, so medicinal in nature.
Yes.
Do you know what it looks like, maybe?
I think I can create an image of a leaf. Resuscitation, you can do everything. Yep, I can make a small image that can fit in my hand, so I'll just kind of, resuscitate one of the leaves I probably saw.
Yes, well, it's mostly like dried crumbs.
Crumpled, yeah.
uh,
This is the best I can do, unfortunately.
okay. Well, it's red then. The color's important.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, if you just mind pointing me towards any sort of books or tomes that might refer to like concentration type magics, things to focus someone's attention.
All right. So it's vague and specific. I will do my best. Okay. Those two books the only ones you require?
For now.
Okay. Well, that would be 2 gold then per book.
Yeah, Fury doesn't say that, but I say that. Give him, I guess I'll give him 4 gold. I have it, Eric.
Okay, it's like, oh, thank you very much. I'll try and find them as fast as possible if they're available inside of here. And then he
Of course.
starts off and starts running. And as he starts running, we're gonna take our break. Already been running
Hey,
for 2 hours, so we're gonna let that boy run while I run to the toilet. Aha, gotcha! What a segue. See you in a minute.
Wow.
And welcome back. And we're back in the library. The boy is going to search. And since he's searching, Fiera and Arik, you both come with me 1d20 to see how successful he is.
D20.
Oh,
oh,
I don't like these dice that I'm now using.
Oof.
my goodness!
This is incredible. Well, Aria, you didn't have to roll since you didn't ask for a book, but
Oh,
he ghost search for one.
It doesn't help. So.
Yeah. This kind of usually it dictates how long it takes, but you rolled so goddamn low.
The guy forgot about us and he's working with someone else now.
Yeah.
Now I would say, like, 2 hours pass and you're just sitting there,
Oh
and
my God.
he hasn't returned yet. He did come like several times come back and say like he hasn't found anything yet. He's just letting you know, and then he's continuing his search. But after 2 hours, he still doesn't seem to have been able to find anything particular to your topics specifically. He said like, you know, there are flowers, there are wet flowers, what's the end lotuses, and there are like, you know, books about concentration spells and stuff like that, but kind
That's
of
the broad
just
one. Yep.
like on a very basic term, how you explain it to a beginner arcanist. But he would also kind of continue to say and explain to you, Eric. He said, well, it doesn't necessarily surprise me too much that I'm not finding anything. We are a bit limited in our arcane inventory. So most of that usually gets transferred to the Covers Magical Institute, obviously for the arcane practices there. Our inventory mostly holds, you know, the sciences, the history, biology, natural worlds, politics, humanities, theologies, and stuff like that. The magical stuff is specifically selected and brought towards the Coast Magical Institute. So I'm having a hard time finding anything related towards your request. I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah, okay. No problem. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, once again, I apologize. I really tried my best to ask a couple of other colleagues, but they don't seem to recall anything of your nature. And with you too, of course. There's unfortunately no rare lotus that is red. At least that
I'm not too surprised. Like I said, it is rare.
yes, it most definitely is. Might have to upgrade to very rare then.
Can you answer your question then?
Yes, of course.
So there's 10 colleges here. What does each represent?
Yes, so we have the Silberstein University of History. We have Levanza, Weisenmensch, Olsantri, Gelernter, and of course the one and only Silvius Silberstein, who are the professors of that college specifically, or university, excuse me. Then we have the Selia Uni of Politics and Social Engagements. I'm not quite sure who the professors are there. I think it's Oberland Winzinger and the other one is missing me. I think it's Mr. Wissensübergeber. Then we have the Vercadia College of Arts and Kalinities, which you would know. Kalinities stands for humanities.
Oh, right.
Yes, just the global and fantasy word for it. Yes, there we have Mr. Wordel Kunstseer, Mrs. Katharina Schwarz, and Mr. Felix Scheinberger as the professors there. Then we have the Innendell College of Economics. Do not know the professors of there, unfortunately. It's not my field of study. Might have to ask someone else. Then we have the Liechtenstein University of Theology. The professor and holy person is Maximilian Kreuzer. Then we have the Silencia University of Biology. I think the professors there are Iminacia Zindel and Imbendino Glunorgon. Might be worth asking them about your lotus, since they are pretty adept in biology and botanics. Then we have the Isis University of Philosophy. The professor, I think, is Kallenstein Großdenker. Yes. Then the Lingala University of Linguistics. Do not, unfortunately, know the professors there. Might have to ask one of the linguistic students. Then we have the Enscont University of Sciences. Terendale Offwater is one of the professors, and Zaltier Hamilton is the other one. And then we have the Felthium University of Law. I think one of them is Onsul Ironbracer. The other one, I think, is Mr. Orekeeper, but his first name is a miss. Those are the 10 colleges and universities inside of Solis.
Got you. And just to make sure I have all the fields right, because I do have doctors in a couple areas myself. Was 10. History, politics and social, arts and calamity, economics, theology, biology, philosophy, linguistics, sciences, and law. Okay, that's 10.
Yep.
Whew. Okay. Well, that should point us in another direction if we're unable to find something here. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Any maybe other requests of books you would like to find in the meantime?
We're actually headed to another area, so hopefully that will begin soon. For now, we'll just spend our time on our own.
Okay, very well. Have a nice day, and I hope you find what you're looking for.
Shoot.
He returns to his post.
So, if this area fails us, I see 2 professors that we could look into, one in biology and the other in maybe sciences.
Yeah. Good place to start.
It's either that or we can just keep waiting, but if they're going to come to us, then we might as well keep busy.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go find the biology college, and the Professor Zindel Ornagon is what I wrote down.
Do you want the name?
Yeah.
Because they have the craziest. Which one?
Oh, for biology, I wrote Zindel Unagon.
Or there were two.
Onagon.
There were 2 of them. So
There we go. I tried to do last names.
yes. Ah, okay. Yes, Zindel is the last name of one of them.
Okay, so I got one of them. Okay.
Imanathia Zinedel, and this is the fancy name. And you can easily ascertain that they most likely are a gnome.
Oh. Oh God,
Imbindino.
Glunagon. I wasn't
Glunagon.
close. Jesus. Not even. Gnomes. Where did gnomes? What's like the biggest population of gnomes in which country?
Okay, you would default know this. It would be in Azathia.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I'll try to lead us to the biology college.
Okay. Then you step out of the library and go outside back to where the other people are. And you look around, make a perception check to see if you can.
Oh my God! Can somebody help me?
Yeah, I'll help you.
I can't.
I was like, I can help too. I'm really good at
Just
perception.
can't do it. There was a one in there. Thank you. It was either 12 or 1, so.
Okay, a 13. Step outside. Yeah, relatively, well, not super easy to find, but you do see, kind of just looking at the towers and, ascertaining the emblems and stuff like that. One of them does have the Elvinish, Runish word for life, and you would presume, biology, life. Hopefully it's that. But as you go there, it's like, you just step into a university. It's a large building. A lot of people are going
Yep,
in and out.
I'll do my normal thing. I will stop somebody that looks friendly.
Okay, yeah, so one of the students, you can see a small male gnome come out, has like a funny cone hat on, Two robes are too long.
And then in Gnomish, I will say, "Oh, good afternoon. Could you help me out? I'm kind of new around here, if you can't tell."
Oh, yes, of course. What do you need help with?
I'm looking for the professor's rooms, either for Citadel or I believe it's Glenagron?
Glunorgon, Professor
Glenargon.
Glunorgon.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, if you want to have a private appointment with one of the professors, you have to go to the decennial office for students, and then you have to make an appointment there, since they're very busy. They have a very tight schedule with obviously teaching class and own private research and papers they write. Yes, so your best chance on getting to speak with a professor is by having an official appointment. You can maybe try and catch them on one of the hallways when they're walking from one class to another, but most professors obviously don't like that. Since, well, they're very busy people.
Suppose that makes sense. Do you know if they're full up with classes today? Are you familiar with their schedule?
No, I don't know the schedules of the professors. I only know my own curriculum. It's already enough to try and remember my own. I sometimes forget some classes.
Well, that does make sense. And are they giving lectures now, do you know? Or if they were, what room would they be in?
Well, there are many lecture halls inside. Could be any one of them. However, usually it's, uninvited guests is a bit frowned upon. Everyone, has to stay within their limits, or we all pay for our separate courses. So it's a breach against the house rules to just step inside.
Interesting. Well, that does line things up for me. Thank you so much for your time.
No, of course. Always glad to help a new student.
Thank you.
Just kind of nods and starts bottling.
Okay.
But
Well, he recommended we make an appointment, which I guess we could do. Maybe catch them in the halls. That doesn't sound too enticing to me. Don't really.
Yeah,
want
let's
to roll
not
here.
try to ambush somebody.
Yes, that makes sense.
That would definitely be a terrible idea.
Unless we have something that would interest them, that would make them want to stop.
Like what?
Strange mark on her arm. I don't have any of the plant with me. I would have left that with Dell. That's his thing. Yeah. Can you think of anything that might get their attention in the hall?
I'm just gonna jingle my coin sack.
I'm sure they're paid pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, if they're paid for their job.
Yes.
I have a feeling people aren't just gonna like willingly give up information to brand new people that ambush them in the middle of the hallway.
Good point. Let's go make an appointment. Although I didn't ask where that was. Is there something on the wall that indicates I guess was a building he mentioned?
he just said the senior office for students. You
Right.
can make another perception check, which I always feel like is your cursed roll for this campaign in the last month. More
Yeah,
so
he
than
doesn't have very good
That's okay.
14. Yeah, you take a look around and yeah, kind of going a bit away from the main building there. You then see a few signs that have been put out, which kind of just guide people. So it just says, oh, this goes to here, this goes to there. Or once again, similar like in the Wissensbezirk in the college of Mr. God, what's his name again? Terrendale? No, not Terrendale. What's his name again? I know it's Telding. The signs are very confusing and you aren't quite sure in which direction to go.
Right.
But you do see one that says the decennial office for students, and it also says like, that seems to be like the managerial. That's not a word.
Oh boy, no, it is.
Managerial. Jesus Christ. The
I don't know.
place that manages any affairs that students might have with official members of the institution and stuff like that. It's like when you want to write your bachelor's or stuff like that, you have to inform them and stuff like. Or if you want to assign a new project, they're the guys you go to, and you can see it's kind of always written there, made for like new students. So the college seems to be kind of accommodating for people who haven't been here before. It doesn't seem like everything is left out in the open for them to figure out themselves. So there are a few helpful advice on a few of the signs, and they do lead you into the direction of there. And it does get confusing because you see several signs that point in different directions until you then kind of notice, and because you're smart enough to notice that there are probably more than one office. It's just because it's such a large campus, it would be stupid to just have one office. And so you just kind of migrate towards the one that seems to be closest, which would be just at the northern gate. And there you get to the desk, but this time on the northern side, since it's the one that was closest, and it seems like that is one of the members that you can talk to. Yeah. And this time as you go there, you see a female half-elf sitting behind the desk.
Lovely. Excuse me, young lady.
Yes?
I was told if I was to look for an appointment with a professor, I needed to sign up.
Yes, depending what inquiry is from your side to be made to the professor, you can definitely make an appointment. Are you an enlisted student?
No. I graduated some time ago. Not from here.
Okay, very well. It's just, obviously we give higher priority to our students to be able to talk with the professor since they have the need of it. So students usually get onto a priority list since there are a lot of requests in a day that wish to speak with the professors. I hope you understand. They're very busy people.
What if my subject that I wish to present to them is something of a health concern?
Yes, well, might have to talk with other authorities than the professors. Might have to inquire medical experts. The professors are here to strictly teach. That is what they are assigned here to do. If you have any health issues, I would recommend to obviously go to maybe a hospital or medical ward.
But they're working on their own private research as well, right?
Depending on professor to professor, some do, some not. It depends how much time they have.
Perfect. Well, I'm looking to speak to either of the biology professors. I believe I have discovered a plant that has more medicinal properties than once thought of, and I would love their thoughts on it. And perhaps we could collaborate to help ease the pain of many.
Okay. Very well. And your name would be?
Dr. Fear.
Dr. Fiera, very well. Well, I will put you on the waiting list. Unfortunately, that's all I can do at the moment right now. And then I will put it into the professor's schedule. And is there anywhere you're staying in the students' accommodations? Maybe since you aren't a student, I presume no, maybe in, so we can send for you when they have time.
Ooh. Which place are we staying at?
The Sunset Inn.
Sunset Inn. For now, the Sunset Inn.
All right. Okay. Well, I've written this down, and I will make my best attempts and efforts, so you can talk with them as early as possible. But unfortunately,
Can I see? Oh God, of course. Can I see? What she wrote down specifically?
yeah, you can make a perception check.
All right, we can do this. Get me over 15.
Three
It can
times
be
a
done.
charm. 3 times a charm.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we go.
16.
You just have to ask for it, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, she isn't hiding it or anything. She wrote
Right.
down Dr. Fiera, non-student, medicinal herbs, interest in talking, discussion for possible collaboration. And then you see next to her a pile of 20 different individuals who have also requested certain things. And you can see a high variety of new plant discovered on the southern side of
Oh
the
no.
Several Great Woods, new species discovered in one of the Valerian sea districts, and all of that stuff. Like, that seems to be like a day-to-day occurrence.
Of course, we're in a forest.
Yeah.
A magical forest. Like tip of my arm. How many people have you talked to today that have something similar they want to talk to professors with?
Are you talking to the desk girl?
Yes.
Oh. Whew, it's pretty late. I don't usually count. On average, maybe between maybe like 300 to 500. Quite common.
Oh, between all 4 of the desks, I assume.
No. Just me and my shift.
Oh, and wild guess, they probably can't see 300 people a day. I mean, unless they wanted to split up time, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there.
They do that on occasion, depending on the request. But yes, like I said, but most requests usually come from students, so they make time for it. And any requests that aren't from students, like in your case, unfortunately, well, they it would be unfair towards the students that pay a lot of money to study here to not get the full attention of the professors. If someone else from the outside just comes in, I know it's always sounds bad when saying it to people, but I think it's it's the way the college works.
I look to Arya. You or me?
Is there any way that we could take priority? We're currently investigating something very important.
Well, it's, not to be mean, but that is a sentence I do hear quite a lot. From those 300 to 500, at least 250. And that's the first thing they say to me. So,
How many of them are with the Inquisition?
well, none. But I would presume Inquisition usually have other Inquisition members they can talk to, which is why they don't usually address the professors.
Yes, we do have a wide network of connections, but I feel like the professor might help us with something that we're still learning about.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm actually surprised with the nice route.
I can be nice sometimes.
I mean, she's just a nice disc girl. I think that's why.
Persuasion. Oh, come on.
6.
I cannot roll to save my life today, guys.
I mean, no one definitely can. I mean, just look at the last. Ooh, except maybe for the 16 and 14. They were decent.
I'm working my way up, so
Yeah. She kind of sighs, like, well, I can maybe get into contact with other Inquisition members and they can maybe help you out. Whether or not the professor wishes to see you is, at the end of the day, not up to me. I can, like I said, put you on the list. He will see the list. And
does he look through them to see? I guess.
I would presume
Important.
so. Once again, this is
Can you-
probably different from professor to professor. I think that's a personal preference kind of thing.
Understood. Well, can you at least add one more note?
Yes, of course.
Like I mentioned, Dr. Fiera. I am from Fimberdeus, Canaan. And I am a researcher in not just life, but the continuation of life.
All right. And she writes it down exactly as you have said it.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, anything else maybe I can help you with?
Not today. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we either send notification to the place you have just given to me, the Sunset Inn. If there's an early response. If you haven't received a response in a VOS, you may return to the office and maybe reinstate the request. Like I said, there are a lot of requests. The possibility that it can get lost is quite high. But yes, I'll try my best at least.
Oh, understood.
Okay, well, hope you have a nice day.
You as well. Well, I suppose we just hang out.
Sorry, I tried.
No, I understood. This place is a lot busier than I assumed. Which is actually a good
more
thing.
politicky than I expected.
Yeah, there seems like not just my own home is trying to hoard information.
Like I expected politics, but I didn't expect this much.
Well, then let's do things the right way and wait our turn.
So at this point, oh yeah, you can see other side of the tunnel a half-elven male, not half-elven, high-elven male, kind of steadily approaching towards you with an intent to approach you. Can obviously see that, and you can then immediately discern from the way he walks and the way he dresses, most likely an Inquisition member. As he
Oh
then
man, here we go.
steps up. You can see he has more like green robes. He seems to be a bit more officially donned, and not like you in like slim outfits. He seems to be more like of the researcher types. As you remember, you have 3 different types of Inquisition members. He seems to be belonging to the Wissenseinheit, which is the one that stores and researches the information given to him. And you also know that one of the main branches, the branch he belongs to, resides in the archives. You can see he has a badge on his left arm, which kind of states his position. You can see he has it's kind of like a mouth with that opens up. Just like an open mouth with an eye inside of it, the letter I, which would put him as a Übersetzer, which is the same rank as you are, just for his station. Your ranks differ a bit from, position to position, but, if you would compare them, he's the same rank as you. And he says, you then must be Ariar, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you. My name is Toldari Eisenhut. I'm a Übersetzer for the Wissenseinheit. I've been contacted by the office that you requested access to the archives.
That is correct.
And the two individuals that are accompanying you are?
This is Dr. Fiera, and this is Eirik.
Very well then. Shall we walk?
Yes, please.
And he just kind of sat on going, and then he just asked, so then, what is your inquisition then that has brought you to the Zephyr's archives, if I might ask?
We currently are investigating a curse that inflicted many people.
Okay. Very interesting. And you come from...
Oh man, what was the name of the place we were just in?
Souvenir.
You're in Sunanir.
You were at 22 sessions. Well, technically 20 sessions. Says, alright. Okay. Well, we'll do our best to find what you need. Is there anything particular you are wishing to find?
Yes. We specifically are looking for information about different types of blood curses.
Blood curses. Okay, that is very specific. You're gonna start taking out a notepad, writing stuff down.
Yes, we're mainly looking for a way to combat users of blood magic and counteracting the curses they place on people that last indefinitely, such as the Velmuth blood curse.
Right, Wilma's blood curse.
As the curse we received seems to be similar, if not more potent.
Oh, so you are also infected?
That is correct.
Alright, interesting. Kind of looks at the symbol, draws it down.
Are you familiar with Calyx?
Yes, I have heard of the name.
Yes, he is a blood magic user, and he's the one who infected many people in Sumir.
Alright. Very well. Well, I'll be your host. Obviously, as you probably would already know, the entrance to the archives obviously is restricted, but I will search for the books you require and then deliver them to you. Meanwhile, you can take seat in the waiting chambers of the Inquisition, and we shall deliver all the necessary things to you.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. And he starts walking, and he walks to the middle section, and he brings you to, as I described, just this circular building in the middle, as you can also see, which I guess I could also go to the map. I won't go to the map because I didn't reorganize our cameras. I just realized. But yeah, so there's a circular building, and he's taking you to one of these outer ones. That's just kind of waving out there that look like these Gothic church-like structures. And you just kind of go to one of the sides there. You can enter, and you see these are just large study halls, also decorated with many bookshelves. So these seem to be subsect libraries. And he says, you can also make personal research here. These are the Inquisition archives, obviously separated from the Zephyrus archive. There might be some information on what you seek in here. These are mostly relevant information about what the Inquisition is currently investigating. So it usually changes from time to time. However, you may take a seat here, and I will return once I have made any progress in finding. It can take a while, so please be seated for the time being. Expect long terms. I presume it is the first time for you, dear. Excuse me, Dr. Fiera, correct?
Yes.
And the gentleman.
Yep.
Alright, yes, just be aware that this can usually take long times. The halls of the archives are extensive.
No, that's fine.
He just kind of nods and then disappears. And you can see there are other, people inside of here. They seem to be now similarly dressed as Arya. Also he's a long cloak, very tight-fitted, studded leather armor. Some of them even wear larger, heavier or medium armor. And some of them are completely adorned in black clothing, looking like a shadow, but just kind of chilling in one corner, looking at one book, putting it back, and then going somewhere else and then taking out the books. Seems to be a somewhat lively area.
Well, let's make ourselves comfortable. I guess I might go cruise, and just come get me once he comes back. I'll just get up and start going through the rows.
Okay, yeah, I guess you can just make an investigation check, and one other can also just roll me a d20 to see if he finds anything for you.
Oh, so somebody else roll it.
I'll see.
I thought you were going up. Oh man, that's literally a 1, 2, 3. That's insane. That is insane.
I cannot roll tonight.
Wow.
It's crazy.
The computer algorithm can't roll tonight.
Exactly.
Seems like it. Well, I got a 20. Whoops.
I also did straight D20 and not
Yeah, since it's obviously determined with other factors.
But I'm looking for something different.
Yes, you can tell me what you're looking for.
I'm looking for notes on criminal organizations and their names that have been active, I guess, since recorded, that are still active.
Oh,
Sorry. Ones that are still active that, they go back. It's yep, this was active 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that's still active. I'm just trying to find criminal names, and specifically ones that might tie to the Dark Resistance.
Okay. And then the other two, are you doing anything or are you just hopsky chilling?
I will find a comfy chair or sofa or whatever, and I'll put my feet up and I'll just start pouring through my sketchbook and looking at different ideas.
Okay. Then I have to uncover my documents for a bit. Arya, are you looking for anything?
I would just try to look in here for the lotus. Anything about the lotus?
Yeah. Then you can do that. Make an investigation check.
You
Oh
can do
my
better.
god.
There you go.
Yeah, only because I got a +9.
Oh. Oh, so you rolled a 4? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh
No way.
shit! I mean,
Is-
sometimes you just don't want to be seen, you know. Sometimes things aren't meant to be found.
Or maybe somebody's working against us.
Yes, maybe fate itself, aka the algorithm of Roll20, which technically speaking is fate in the sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you say again, Eric? You weren't looking for anything specifically, right?
No, I'm not looking for anything. I'm going over my own notes and
Yeah. Okay.
drawings and stuff to start wrapping my head around my new
Yes.
my new project.
Okay. Well, starting off with Mrs. Fiera, and you specifically said from the very beginning, or can you reword that
So-
again?
So I don't know how far back it goes, but I do know that the Dark Resistance are active. So I'm looking back at organizations that have been active for a while. Because I assume if they're active now, they were active a long time ago. So, like, so a long-standing organization.
Okay. Well, then you have to define to me what you think long is.
I mean, hundreds of years, I would go. That
Okay.
would make
100 years, is that long for you?
no. These are elves. This is
Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Because
I'm thinking something that has done so much meddling has to go back probably after the creation of the cities in Azathia at some point is when it was started. I don't know how old that is as Matt, but Fiera as a history, buff probably would know that.
yes. So are you specifically looking for Azathia criminal organizations only, or like just
Something in Azathia that is working with the Dark Resistance, if I can.
okay? Well, with a 20, what you will get the very obvious first one you can see, of course, is the EC, the Elfenbein Cartel. They have been present since the beginning, since the founding of the cities, and they're still present today. Everyone knows them. Well, not knows them, but they're infamous. And they have been, always been working undercover. And literally, there isn't much documentation about them, even in the Inquisition archives. And you have heard from Arya before that they specifically avoid them to a certain degree, or at least
Right.
Untrained members, aren't or shouldn't have further contact with them. A second group. I do not know why I listed there. The second group that grabs your attention are the Arachnix Assassins. Extremely famous because they're utilized by the high society. Since the beginning of high diplomacy and high society, people want to get rid of targeted individuals who are not morally or ethically bound use other methods, and they have been famous for it, and they work very closely with the high society. So any targets that deem a threat or otherwise unpleasant for certain high society members specifically, they usually contract the Arachnid assassins to get rid of them silently. And
Oh, okay. So they probably wouldn't kill someone and then make a showing of it.
yeah, no, their whole ordeal is their name is a threat alone, which is one of the reasons why no one would try and mess with high society members, since they know they could literally just send one of them to you and you could almost do nothing about it. From a threat point of view, they are seen more dangerous than the Elfenberg cartel, since, you know, they are actual trained assassins. And inside of there, they know, because the Inquisition also works with them to a degree. Since they're
course.
so influential. I mean, after a certain point, if someone gets so good at what they're doing, it'd be just, you know, a foolish decision not to work with them if you have the availability to. Which is why in every single city, there's one of the 8 leaders of the Arachnid assassins, also known as one of the 8 eyes, or one of the 8 eyes of the spider, that usually looks over the city to ensure that all assassinations that happen there are under control of the high society. So that if a assassination occurs, which wasn't brought to the attention to either the Arachnid assassin or the high society, they know, okay, someone else is playing foul game, and they can interact, and they know the entire assassin's network. So that's how they control that none of the, you know, lower assassins are able to climb up the ladder, since they're always capped by these high-tier assassins. And that's how the Inquisition works with them, because they have extremely important intel on, you know, the killing that goes around there, and always ensure that everything is targeted, everything stays clean, and no dirty work happens.
Bizarre. Gotcha. That's Lampo. But it doesn't sound like well, I guess I don't know about the cartel. I guess the Fira, that doesn't sound like either of those groups was probably connected to the Resistance, but I'm not sure. Is there any mention of the Dark Resistance, or is
At least in historical records, as you're kind of looking back to the beginning, none whatsoever. Nothing mentioned.
which makes sense if it's just that in Tellus and something else here.
Presumably, if it's something else, yes.
Okay.
Then, with a 13 for Arya. Looking for the flower. Yeah. Nothing really turns up. It doesn't seem like it's a common topic at the moment for the Inquisition members to be investigating. Can obviously put in a... It will probably be now a discussed topic, since you have already requested your guy to search for it. So it might become like one of the main topics that will be investigated. However, when you stepped inside, it didn't seem there was any prior need to investigate this specific topic in any way, shape, or form. So you don't really find anything about it here.
Snap. I'm gonna kind of walk over by Eirik and kind of like slump down next to him and just sigh. Feel like any luck for you with whatever you're doing?
Not really. No, they haven't been able to find me anything to work on. Just still stuck in my little research and development phase.
Any new projects you're working on?
Yeah, actually, that have something that kind of I'm looking for something that's going to help, focus focus someone's attention, trying to maybe like heighten the senses a little bit. I know, some of the guild members back that I've worked with and watched work, they were able to sort of, take their mind and their focus and really, shrink down into what they were working on and kind of just hyper focus on that task. And I'm trying to figure out a way to take that idea and translate it to something, that could be projected further away. Because I'm just thinking about, the things that we've been fighting, the people we're fighting. None of us want to like get in the way of anything. We're all kind of like we want to stay far away. So I'm trying to think if I can get something that's going to help focus the attention on something like a target far away. That can. So I'm trying to harness that ability and make it more long range and effective for our needs. So just trying to wrap my head around the actual, sort of magic and, technology behind it. I've got the framework for it. I have the actual physical thing. I've got the idea for, but
So like a thunder spell where like it can go for like crazy amounts of distance, but you kind of want to like start it farther away than like right next to people.
well, no, not so much thunder. It's just taking, if I were to want to, cast a spell on someone and I want to make sure it hits or like make sure it lands on them specifically, I want to be able to like focus my attention even more than just even more than normal on a specific target.
Oh, okay. I think I understand now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to gotta get my head wrapped around the actual magic behind it. Learn a little bit about different uses of this type of magic, and then I can try to imprint it into the actual physical object.
Okay.
But it's nothing complicated. Whatever. What's going on with you? How's your mental stuff?
I don't know, I haven't tried it since we woke up this morning. I'm kind of scared to try it, to be honest. When you live with something and you rely on it for so long and feeling disconnected from it, kind of unnerving.
Yeah, there's not going to be a way to know unless you try it, right?
Sorry, something from my closet just fell and it started. Yeah, I guess I have to try.
Like not here. Like I'm not saying like do anything dangerous like right now. Don't risk anything.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
I'm just saying in general, right? It's not like you're gonna get a letter handed to you saying your brain is now ready.
Yeah, it's just more of I'm scared to push myself too far before my body's ready, because when I tried to do it last time, it kind of hurt, like a lot.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Kind of just like, if I can't do what I'm good at, what's the point?
I very much relate to that statement. So freaking much. You and I, we're just same wavelength. We'll figure it out.
We've got a world to save.
Oh, Jesus. Can we not talk about like the grand nature of what's going on? Like, can we keep it more like realistic? Like right now we have like ourselves to save. Like that would be better to focus on. Because like I don't know a lot about the world, honestly. Well, I have no reason to save most of it.
The world's just the world, and we live in it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's just try to save like small bits of it at a time.
Like getting you back on paper.
Yes. See? Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
I'm hoping we can do just that.
I keep thinking about it, and it's honestly terrifying that I'm nowhere. At least there I wasn't.
The new places that we go and the new people you meet, they're going to meet you for the first time. So you're creating a new legacy.
Now see, what's gonna happen if we do get me back on paper? Is me now introducing myself to all these people then gonna disappear and they're not gonna know that this existence of me exists? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that you're thinking too much into it. I think that they're going to remember the Iric that they're meeting now.
okay. Okay. Cool.
Because the people that we were interacting with before, like that was your past. And you don't associate with them as much anymore. So when they get their memories back, they're going to remember you who you were. And then all these new people are meeting you now, and they're going to know you for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I just like I didn't know a ton of people, but just the fact that like there are just people now that don't know who I am, like that's it. Huh.
It was your wish.
Oh no.
Would you like to have it undone? Quite simple.
My eyes are closed. Iric's eyes are closed, and he's just breathing, like slowly in, out.
Since we were just having a conversation, can I look at Iric and try to figure out like why he suddenly like zoned out, like breathing differently?
Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Here's the nat 20.
Hey, it's better.
16. Yeah, something definitely has, I guess, startled him in a light way. and he's in a slight panic, I think is an accurate description I can place here. And he's just been completely still. And I think, Aria, your intuition is good enough to put one and one together. And you presume something funny is happening with him. What do you think, Aria? What do you think is happening?
I think he's probably being talked to in his head.
Mm.
Knowing what we know about the curse and what we were just talking about, Ari would probably assume that Helix is talking to Iris. Considering he was completely fine, calm, and then his breathing changed, and then he's just like zoned out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start trying to talk to Eirik to get him to come back to me and get out of his head.
Okay.
Eirik, it's Arya. Come back. Don't give in to the voice. Come back out here where you know that we're real, we're here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Don't give in to that voice, Eirik.
Real. And you hear this now too, Aria. Both of you are very real. Because I allow it to be. Imagine what could happen if that weren't the case. Like loved parents grow old, and a young child sees them wither away and die, forgotten by time. Both of you are these parents. But this can all be so simple. I can stop any war. I can kill any man. Just tell me the price. You wish for it, not I. You wish to save your parents. You wish to be forgotten. I just complied. And you just have to pay a little price.
Too bad. I don't know how people are gonna react around me. And I'm just gonna scream, no. Really loud.
Okay, you scream no real loud, and you can immediately see people around you like kind of just, jolt, get startled, and then a lot of shh across the rooms. And you just hear, you wanted to be forgotten too, right, Aria? To save the life in exchange of your memory. Oh, how easy it was to do. But don't worry, they won't die by my hand. They will die by someone very close to you. And you will be sad to hear by who.
Arya just full blown panic mode now. She's just like breathing really deeply, trying really hard not to respond to him.
What you have isn't a curse. What you have is an omen.
Yeah, assuming I heard that scream,
Yep, definitely.
like, that makes sense. I'll close whatever I'm reading, put it in shelf, walk over very casually. So even with my insight, I'd probably see her kind of in panic mode.
Yep.
Can I see your arm, Arya?
I just kind of like jerk back and I go like this.
Trying to push back her sleeve so I can see the mark.
Yep. The mark is there. That's normal. An open wound.
This probably won't get rid of it, but I can try to lessen his effect if you're willing.
Please.
And then I'll try a 4th level Dispel Magic.
Okay.
Focus on the mark like I did for myself.
Yes. Roll that intelligence check.
Oh yeah. Take out the lockets just in case I need a little bit of boost.
Now it. Oof. It's good, but not good
18.
enough.
Yeah, being familiar with how much effort I have to go through with my own. Time may be a little weird, so I apologize. And then I'll chronal shift, and for a second, she'll kind of see me almost like if you see somebody like in a video go backwards in time. And then I'll hit again after I use that chronal shift.
Oh my god.
That is not meant to be. Yeah, I'm messing with time. My bad.
Oof.
It's gonna look
I don't
at
think
these
it-
rolls and
I don't think
just
it has to take that one though.
Yeah,
No,
please.
you have to use result in the second
Oh,
pull. Never mind.
wow. Okay. Okay. So, what actually happens is this. You rewind. And you do create a stronger dispel magic. You see once again like a different version, a different hand of you appear that then casts the spell, which you feel is much stronger, more potent than your other one. And it's different. It's not even a dispel magic anymore. It's something entirely different. And while this is happening and you're concentrating so hard on this spell, what happens is
I don't know where like.
Arya, you suffer 35 psychic damage as you start deteriorating her consciousness. Since you remember, it's linked to her mind. So as you're trying to dispel this, you are actively trying to dispel her mind. And you can see her just suddenly get these spasms, similar when Calix first appeared and she got a loads of nosebleeding. Arik, you have a deja vu of this happening, and Arya's nose just starts bleeding profusely. She falls on the ground and is unconscious once again and just kind of having these seizures, going in and out, going in and out. And then you can just hear. answer's beneath your feet. Just look for it. And then it disappears.
Can you repeat that? What was that?
The
The answer's beneath your feet.
Just kind of look for it. Yeah, now I go into panic mode.
Yeah, you can
Immediately put her on her side.
other Inquisition
And-
members start coming, saying, What happened here? Where's she on the floor? Someone get a medic, quick! And then other people are rushing outside. You see a kind of more formal library member come and say, has she been assaulted?
I don't know.
Okay.
It took over.
Okay. Step aside. And then they kind of go to her. He's putting kind of his hand over there. And you can see he closes his eyes. A weird blue magic. A circle comes around his finger and he just starts scanning her. And then scanning her head. Okay, impulse in the mind. Minor cognitive dysfunctions. We need special medical care. Do you have a psychic on hand? Alright, brings them. Okay, well. Please join us. We have to record this. This is kind of gonna go unnoticed. And then you can see two other members kind of just start flanking her and start lifting up and taking her outside of the building. While the other one is there, just kind of supervising, but then urging you to like follow him and say, okay, now, very slowly, explain to me what happened.
I ignore him and look at my locket.
You look at your locket, it's normal as it's always been.
I unlock it and look inside to see if the picture's in there.
The picture's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Close it.
Okay, you're in a state of panic. Christ. Okay. And he just starts kind of looking frantically around. You obviously get the sense he's thinking some kind of assault happened here.
I just start whispering, she has mental abilities.
I know. That's why I'm trying to see if any psychological assault has been made from afar. And he starts kind of like just giving hand signatures to other Inquisition people who were just kind of studying there, but he's like giving them orders now to like kind of survey the area. Okay, I need to know any specifics. Alright? Anything? Have you seen a person? Have you heard a weird noise? Have you felt anything? Inside of your head. Did someone talk inside of your head?
Yeah.
Do you know who it was? What it was?
Yeah.
And you show the mark. And then, as you blink, you're back where you were at the beginning. Arius back on the ground, bleeding. The guy isn't in front of you anymore. The people didn't notice that this has occurred. And you can see Arius continuing to have his seizures. And as you look around, the library is empty. That's where we're going to end today's session.
You son of a mother.
Whoops.
I'd like you guys to know I only have 45 HP. I'm down to 10 HP. And it probably would have been a lot worse if Jack wouldn't have rolled a 1 on one of those.
I mean, that's
roll
above
the 10. That's
average.
pretty average.
Yeah, it's above average even. So it's like 60, 35.
Boy. Whoops.
Yeah, it's, I know, it's hard to not break that one simple rule, but...
my god, Skit's gonna be like, what the hell? You can't keep killing Arya.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, I know, and it's not like I told you to like not do anything.
Yeah, no, it worked for me, so I thought it would work for you. But then I rolled a 1. And I used total shift. You rolled a 1.
Yeah, that was hard, man. That's literally the only way this could have happened. But getting deeper and deeper.
Whoops.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, so it's just me and Arya, or is Fiera there too?
No, Fiera was there too.
Okay.
But everything that
Yeah.
happened was them taking her to the medical station. That just didn't happen.
Well, it happened, but then it didn't happen.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, where you are right now, it hasn't happened yet or didn't occur because no one was in the library to witness it.
Hmm.
Gosh.
Yep, sorry, Skit. I don't know how Jack's gonna pull this together.
Hey,
man.
I got my ways. My big ways. Here I said this is
Boy.
gonna be a chill session. Yeah, see, Matt, you said, yeah, at some point something's gonna happen, and something did happen.
Yeah, nope, I didn't expect this. So
It's because our rolls were garbage.
our rolls were really
Yeah,
bad. We couldn't research anything.
That was weird.
Like-
Like, oh boy.
Research-focused episode results in no research done.
Yeah, I mean, you learn one thing, which is like the criminals, but that's not deeply
Oh, no.
related.
Yeah, I learned something that
Yeah.
won't help me, I guess.
Yeah, just trivia knowledge is what you got.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Gosh.
it is 11. That is, unfortunately, maybe it's the influence of Calyx that made you roll bad. Who knows?
Probably. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So.
Or they're just waiting till Skid comes here, so I don't have to explain things twice. Who knows? Yes. Yeah, I couldn't. Last session you had a quiet ending. I'm saying like I planned this, which I obviously didn't. But yeah. Oof.
Ari's gonna be terrified to use any of her psychic abilities
You're gonna
ever
be
again. Next time we level, I legit might have to multi-class.
Can't rely on the psionic dice anymore. Oh.
Get away from me relying on my psychic abilities.
Yep, and no more time stuff for me. It's over.
Mm.
Nope. I'm gonna be a normal
God.
wizard. I'm gonna be a blood wizard. Spirit. I'm gonna change my subclass to blood wizard.
Yeah, just embrace. You know, if a foe is too strong to beat, just join them.
Yep.
You know,
Join them.
that's a good old saying.
Let's just be bad guys. We'll start now.
Yeah. A little bit of blood here and there, a little bit of time warp here and there. You know, it's all chill. It's all chill.
Totally. Super chill.
Okay. Well, I think we'll just have to wait till episode 23. Oh man, we are so close to 25. Oh, I'm feeling the goosebumps.
Oh, God.
We can do it!
Yeah, hopefully, depending if you try any other dispelling things and for natural ones, maybe something else will happen. Well, until then, we'll sign off. A people. Until next time. Bye.